Oh shit. Dreadlocks.
Yo. Welcome to the show, guys. Coach to Coach. It's my boy, Coach Ricks, and this is the one and only Jason Hawkins from Hall of Fame Sports. What's going on, Jason?
What's up, Coach? How you doing, man? Thanks for having
I'm
me on.
I'm doing good, man. Doing good, man. Hey, man, we got a lock and loaded show today, man. So before we get started, please like and subscribe to the channel, man. Ring the bell, man. Like the video, man, so you won't miss any content going forward. We got a special guest tonight, man, but I wanted to run some things by you, Jason, man, to pretty much get this show started. We got legendary in the building tonight. We got someone, man, that I know personally, someone that I know professionally, someone that I know on football field, man, gridiron, but at the same point in time, a good man, a good father, a good person, man, that's always been on the right side of the track, man. So this is going to be a special night for me. We go way back. I want to see if you got anything, man, before I introduce our special guest tonight.
No, man, I think it's cool. It's real cool to get to sit in and have a conversation with a guy like this. So I'm excited about it. Thanks for having me be a part of it. Just
All right.
get after. Let's go.
All right. Well, I'm gonna try to do my best introduction, as we always do. But ladies and gentlemen, today we have an incredible guest whose story goes beyond football field. Joining us is the one and only Tony George, a former NFL defensive back who played for the New England Patriots, the NFL Europe League, also being selected in the third round of the 1999 NFL Draft. Before reaching the NFL, Tony was a standout at the University of Florida under legendary coach Steve Spurrier, helping the Gators capture the 1996 National Championship and earning first team All SEC honors. It is, I know, man. Hey, the list goes on, man. But beyond football is only the part of his journey. Tony has overcome a challenge living with type 1 diabetes since high school, earned a doctorate in divinity, built successful businesses, became a professional speaker, founder of Heat Pro Fitness, and created the patriotic mentoring foundation that inspires and develops young people. Today, we are going to talk about football, faith, leadership, overcoming adversity, entrepreneurship, and what it takes to succeed along the final line between the whistle. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Dr. Tony George. What's going
Doctor.
on, big dog?
What's going on, gentlemen? How's everybody?
All right, man. We're doing good, man. Doing good, man. Hopefully the introduction wasn't too long, man. But we're all about giving flowers. All about
Hey,
giving
man,
flowers.
it's thoroughly received and appreciated. Thank you so much for that.
No problem, man. No problem, man. Well, before we get started, Jason, is there anything, man, that you would like to ask? Because I know we got Valerie in the back room. We want to get her in once we start asking these questions because there's also a question in there for her as well. But if you got anything for Tony before we get started.
Well, I mean, you brought up the type 1 diabetes, man. I think a lot of people would have probably folded up shop. I think their family probably would have had them fold up shop playing football from there. But so,
Yeah.
Tony, I guess the first thing I'd ask you is when you look back at the journey from all the way back from Cincinnati to becoming a national champion at Florida, what part of that story still feels the most improbable to you?
Oh man, let's see. That's quite a journey. I think it's improbable because one, you're faced with so many elements of life that you're dealing with,
Mhm.
and when you're so young, you think that you're invincible to every and anything, right?
Yeah.
So when you're that young, you start looking and dealing and hoping and thinking, hey, I have an ability, but I you never know how good you really are. You just, you know, like I tell everybody, man, I thought there was at least 10 other guys that was better than me on the same block where I was from. Um, but the one thing that they weren't going to out consistent me and they weren't going to outwork me. And just understanding that element helped me when I came down with diabetes. I was 16 years old, getting ready to go and hang out at the local Pizza Hut. Just go up there and try to drink my sodas and eat my pizza, and then all of a sudden, wham! You get hit with becoming a type 1 diabetic. I was drinking tons of water, going to the restroom every 2 or 3 seconds. Um, I went from 100 and I was already a skinny kid, going from 165 pounds to 149 pounds in like 3 days. My mom said, "No, we're going to the doctor. Let's go see what's wrong." um, and to know that you are the first person in your family to get hit with something like that, I just felt like it was time. At that time, it was time for me to put it on my shoulders that I'm going to be hit with things in life, and I just got to be ready to take them on. And diabetes was just the first step of that.
Wow, man, that's whew, dang. Top one diabetes, man. I think that's oh, as a parent, I'm pretty sure. I think Robert's in here. I think Robert is that Robert, your brother.
Yes, I got my whole family gonna ride through for me. I already know they all gonna show up.
All
I
right.
got both my brothers. Robert is my oldest brother. Um, my other brother that's on screen is Fred George, and then my sister Valerie. She's online. I know my mom and dad will be on at some point. They might be over there with my brothers.
Okay.
We try to stick together, man. It's a unit. It's a tight unit.
All right. Hey, I wanted to say I want everybody. I want to try to give everybody a chance to get on. It only allows me five, so I'm gonna try to cycle in whoever But they can always stay on the podcast, and then if they have something to say in the comments, I can bring them in if that's okay.
Okay.
Because I
Yeah.
see that Fred's in here. I got Fred on. I see Robert's in here. I think Robert is waiting, but I also got Valerie in here. So I want to give the whole family an opportunity to come on because I know it is a family thing, man. And like I said, you've always been that guy that is family driven.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's been instilled in us. That, my mom and dad have been married for 64 years. Most people don't get to live that long, let alone be married to somebody for that long. So there's a lot of bonding and strong-willed nature that has been instilled with us. That our family is the nucleus of everything, and how we treat one another is how we go out and supposed to treat the world, and that's how we live.
Yeah. Well,
Absolutely.
well, hey, man.
Coach, you can always pop me in and out of here as
Oh no, no, no,
needed.
no. You good? You good? Because I want everybody to get their shine and everything, man. So
Sure,
it's
yeah.
going to be in and out, in and out. And like I said, I knew this was coming and everything, man. It's because this is going to be. I've had people all day. I mean, plethora of people. Can I jump on? Can I ask this? Can I? Always in the comments. This is all about Tony and his day and everything, man. So I'm gonna ask Fred a question and everything since he's on here. Fred, man, when the diabetes came, I'm gonna unmute you. When the not when the diabetes happened and Tony went through what he went through, how difficult was that for you being his brother?
Well, it was pretty difficult, to say the least. Considering I put a lot into Tony's success. He had all the skills and the qualities that it was, it took that I felt that was required for him to go to the next level. And it was somewhat of a setback when he found out that he had diabetes. However, his drive, his work ethic, I mean, he really surpassed my own work schedule that I put to act for him. He surpassed a lot of the basic skills that I thought was required. He had them and some, along with the diabetes. So it really encouraged me to continue to encourage him
Okay.
to make sure that he uh, didn't lose his dream in the process of being uh, told this news that he had diabetes, and also to lose the weight that he did in a week's time really was scary. It really scared me. I got on my knees, and I've been a praying man a long time, and I sent send some prayers up to Yahweh so that Tony's dreams wouldn't be null and void. And not only with that, he put the, like I say, the strongest workout ethics he had. He had so many different extras that just a basic position as a football player, he succeeded already in my mind. So it really encouraged me, as I said, those days of when he had first learned he had diabetes was really tough. It was really tough. It was scary for me, but I held on to encouraging thoughts and positive thoughts, and he showed me through his hard work, his attitude never wavered. He continued to be the very best he could be, even as the diabetes situation came into the fold for him.
That's what's up. Valerie, I know that you in the room and everything. I want to get your take on this before we start asking questions because I know there's a lot of people that want to add their input as well. So I want to get with you, Valerie, to see how did it affect you and everything before we start asking these questions, if you don't mind speaking on that.
All right, no problem. It definitely affected me because at that point, it was myself, Tony, and our younger sister still at the home. With our parents. So seeing him going through the motions every day and just, really not knowing what was going on with him. And, when he got the diagnosis itself, we were all in shock because he was so athletic. He was just, all over the board with sports. We actually went to the same high school, but older than him, so he was up underneath me, but he still, was making and had all of his accolades, but just was a shock. But the person that he is, he was so determined to continue his journey. He knew what was in front of him. And he just, with the diagnosis, it was a setback, but he didn't let it stop him. And we were all behind him 100% of whatever it was that he was trying to get done and accomplished. He has so many accolades. We're just still super proud of him because he's done so much. He's done more than the average person would do in a lifetime. So, as his big sister, I am super proud of him. And, much love to him and in every endeavor that he tries and that he gets into. But he is definitely a blessing to have and a godsend, basically.
I can tell by you speaking that it still touches you and it still makes you emotional because being the middle child, I dictate both sides. And when
Yes.
you have someone that is, I won't don't want to use the word mentally and everything. It is something and everything that is happening to them that you guys can't understand, that you guys have to endure and make better. It does make a family that much stronger because you have to look out to one another a little bit more. Having my grandmother have sugar diabetes, which is a little bit more intense, where you have to do the insulin shots, giving her those at a 14-year-old age, that bothered me because I'm looking at my grandmother a whole different way. So I can commend you guys for being a tight knit family, man, because this is something that sometimes it destroys purpose
Yeah.
versus bring everyone together. So I commend you guys wholeheartedly, man, on that, man.
No.
So, uh, dang, man, that right there, man, is one of those questions, man, that I love to talk about when it's family, because family,
Yeah.
man, is what makes everything go. We
Well,
think that just because you and yes, sir, tell me. Somebody say something.
no, I was going to ask. I was just going to kind of piggyback off of that and
Yeah,
ask:
yeah.
was there ever? I mean, I know that you pushed through, and so I can only imagine kind of how managing diabetes and your preparation for football. I can
Yeah.
only imagine how tough that was to do that. But was there ever a time that the family and you consider ever like seriously considered giving up the game?
No, I never got. We don't have give up in our blood. It's just not in it. We've been blessed to be raised by two very strong parents. Dad that worked at Procter and Gamble factory was a line uh, technician for over almost 30 years, and then we had a mother that was not only the rock, but she was also the person that made sure that she worked with patients going to nursing homes and things of that nature, and made sure that others were taken care of. So we were blessed to be able to get that great work ethic and understand that it didn't matter what we were going through. We just got to find a way to get through it. And that's what we were just kind of taught. We were built that way. And,
Mm.
you know, like I said, like I told you that there were more talented people on my block. I got talented people in my family, in my immediate family, that were way more smarter and worked way harder than me. It's just that the rock fell in my lap and I knew what to do with it. And now we are blessed to be able to sit around and look at each other with the way that we were looking at our mom and dad back in the day is where we're looking at now, and that to me is everything. So we just try to instill what was placed in us, and we just try to live that out through our kids, and we live that out through the people that we touch throughout life.
I gotta turn the volume on.
I got it. I got it. I'm on mute.
Somebody.
I think it's
Yes, sir.
Oh, somebody heard me.
let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see who it is.
Yeah, if you have your stream on the television or wherever you
Yeah,
may
if
have it,
they
you
have
may
their
need to
stream
mute
on,
it
yeah, it's
Yeah, it
going
while
might.
you're on.
there. Hold on, I'm gonna get them
Yeah.
back in. I'm gonna get them back in because I want before we start asking questions, I see Vibration Razor is in there, and then also Robert is in here, so I want to get those two on before I start asking questions. If I remove you guys, you still can stay in the room and in the comments, but it's mainly going to be in the room, and then I'm gonna try to cycle everybody in through and through to ask their questions and everything. All right, vibration, and everything, man. I see you in the room, man. So I want to get your take on it. I'm gonna get your take on this, man. How's you doing? And everything. I think I got him muted. Hold on, hold
I think
on.
he's muted.
Let
Yeah.
me unmute you. There you go. How's
Yes,
everything going?
sir. Yes, sir. How you doing, man? Blessings your way.
Hey, no problem, man. No problem. Hey, we're sitting here talking to Tony, man, about certain things, man. How has the diabetes and everything, man, in any way affected you when it came to Tony?
Oh man, in a tremendous way. Now, I mean, I was, of course, younger, way younger. I'm just turning 40, and I mean, life wise, when you go through a traumatic thing like that as a youngster, you're able to teach a lot. So he was able to teach me some stuff, that I wasn't expecting to get from my uncle. So um, me being right up under him, I was able to learn a lot. I was able to, see basically, I didn't know he had diabetes. I was so young. I didn't know the severity, of diabetes. So, but to see him just continue to go, as it was like a normal day, and then still go and perform. Like when I went to visit him at Florida, I think I haven't seen him in so long. I was like a little bigger and stuff, and I went down there and visited him, man. And I pulled up, and I was blessed to see a lot of Javon Kurtz, everybody, a bunch of people that I was in the locker room with, and he was able to bless me with a different aspect in life and see different. And I'm like, I realized then like how are you able to be on insulin and still play football and the heat and then your medicine and then so it was a bunch of questions that was answered basically when he got drafted in
Hmm.
'99 and I'm like oh I know I could do this then so
Yes.
it was basically like you can do it. So
Yeah.
I mean I'm not sure why he wasn't in a bunch of commercials or bunch of promotions for us that his I don't want to say illness but what he was placed here with. So it's a lot of people that can probably get a good feedback from
I
that.
think.
If he was able to talk to him. So.
Yeah, I think Tony jumped off and everything. I think he was having problems before we started with his phone and everything. So I'm pretty sure that he's going to jump back in and everything. I think. Let me see. There he is. There he is.
I'm on there.
Um,
I won't go away long.
hey, there's so many people in here, man, that want to give you love. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Vibrate, and I'm going to put you in the lobby, Vibration. And I'm gonna let Arizona and Robert come in, and then that should be it. And then we're gonna start getting on these
No
questions. All right.
doubt you went out.
Sounds good.
All right. Hold on.
I appreciate that, nephew.
Let me bring in Arizona. How you doing, Miss
Mommy,
Arizona Jones?
mom.
How are you doing? I think I don't think she can hear me. Let me make sure.
Yes.
Can you hear me now,
Jack,
Oh, you asking for me?
Miss
I
George?
can't hardly see the
Yeah,
phone.
Yes,
yeah, mom.
yes,
Yeah,
Miss George. How are you doing?
But I am gonna say what I have to say about this as a mother. When
we're
he
we're
act like,
asking. We're asking. Go ahead.
Come on with it.
okay, what's your question now?
The question is, as mother of Tony, how
Hello.
did it? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. How did it affect you being a mother, which I know that is a difficult and hard thing as a parent to see that your child is going through something that is very unprecedented. How did it affect you and your family? And also, what did it take for you to keep going to show Tony this is how it's supposed to be done?
Well, how it affected me was the fact that he was able to continue doing what he was doing. When I carried him to the doctor pronounced what was wrong with him. Tony never let it affect him. He kept going. As a young man, he was all American, and he didn't stop. Nothing got in his way. Well, no matter what they put out there for him, he met the goal, and he was always a go getter. I never had a problem taking care of him because it seemed as though he was taking care of himself. He give us strength. We watched him do what he had to do, and being as sick as he was, I don't understand yet how he did it because I don't know how I would have did it. And he was the first one in the family to come down with something like that, and we didn't
Is
know
it
how to treat it.
Yeah, yeah.
well? It's something that in some, at least, and this is just my perception of this. Sometimes in the black culture and everything, we let things bother us to a point to where we don't fix it. You guys took a different approach to where you attacked it and you helped your child get to something that he loved to do, and he didn't
Yes,
stop. So,
that's
and
right.
this is what I love about Tony, man. We can sit here and man, and we can talk about things that's on the field, off the field. He's helped me so much, and I've always had this great admiration for him. I tell him all the time is that when I first met him, we didn't even talk football. We talked about
Right.
life, talked
Mhm.
about uh, Ray Lewis when he knew him. He talked about we talked
Yeah.
about Priest Home. We talked about stuff not in the interview. We just talked about things. So when he went out for the defensive
Right.
coordinator job, the AD asked me, "What do you think?" And I said, "I want him." Not just because it's Tony George. It's because the man who you raised is an exceptional person. I can give you so many examples, but me and Tony, we're like two brothers, and he know that I got his back. He know that
Yes.
anything that he need, I got him. So that's what you built, and that's what you guys raised and everything. So I commend you for that because he's a great young man.
Thank
Miss
you
George,
much.
how
That
much?
he's a 100%. 100% he did it.
Yeah.
He learned
That's
us a
good.
lot because
Thank
he was so strong about everything. He didn't never let nothing get him down. Whatever he had to do, however he had to practice, it didn't make him no difference how hard it was. He got that ball and he went to the field. And he gained
Yeah.
a lot of prestige behind all of that. Because those coaches, they went wild on Tony because Tony, he had the field up there. He did it all. And he didn't
man.
stop.
Yes.
He still haven't stopped. I believe to this day Tony could go back out there in that field and do the same thing he was doing.
Hold
Hey,
on, mom. Hold on, my
yeah, there's. I mean,
father.
it's a few it's a few little more it's a few more cracks that's in the bones now, but it you know what I can still do a
Man,
little thing, little something.
Uh,
How much was your faith in
Hey,
God attributed to some of this for all of you? I know when you go through something like this, your brother mentioned earlier of going down to your knees and praying about it. But how much was prayer and just sticking close to God and your faith in Him? How much did that allow you to just really just stay the course?
all of it. every element of it. You got to think about, growing up
Amen.
in the culture we grew up in. You're talking about, we grew up, well, sort of, lower to middle class, and we came from lower class, moved to middle class, and understanding the blessings of just having something, even back then, was a struggle. So our faith is what carried us through to get to those next moments. Our faith carried us from lower class to middle class. Our faith carried us from from having 6 kids and being able to struggle to eating full course meals. It, we had blessed to be able to have two parents. Our faith in having two parents and praying that we got a strong mother and strong father to guide us and lead us. That was 100% of everything that we did, and we nurtured that. That was 90%, 99%, because nothing's ever 100%, but 99% of everything that we did was based around our family and our faith. And
Yeah.
that's what everybody's kind of drawn to, even to this day. When we get together as a family, you can bank on everybody wanting to come around us because of that gel and that nucleus that they see with us. Like, we may have a difference of opinion between brothers and sisters, but that love is what everybody's genuinely attracted to, because they know that no matter what, we're going to be structured in a great foundation with our faith, that we can move forward and get past anything with that.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Hey, I got one more person to pop
Is that?
in. Go ahead. Go ahead. I got
Oh,
one more person to pop in. And Jason, you're fine. It's Robert George. Robert, I've been trying to get you in, big dog. I finally got you in. Finally got you
Well,
in.
that's the
Hey,
leader of the pack right there.
that's the leader of the pack. Uh,
Yeah.
hey, first of all, I
Yes,
want to
sir.
say thank you and welcome to the show.
oh,
Uh, uh, as I've heard from the mom, I'd like to hear from the
thank you.
dad.
Oh, that's right.
How has this affect you as a family? I guess the head of the family, being in a different atmosphere and everything, knowing that your son is going through something that is unprecedented. How did it affect you
That's
as
my
well?
that's my that's my brother.
That's your brother. Oh,
Yeah, that's my
That's
oldest
a
brother
my
right
brother.
bad.
there.
Huh?
My bad. Where's the dad? I see the. There he is. Okay. Okay.
Dad,
Oh
right there in the
yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
background.
Yeah.
hey,
That's dad.
got
Okay. So now I got both on. I got both on. Let me hit dad first. Dad, I apologize. Uh, hey man, look, I love that everyone's coming on, man. This is what I love about the podcast, man, because it allows family, friends, and everyone to come on to give flowers where flowers is definitely due. As being the
right.
head of the family, and I know that it's very challenging at times and everything because being the head of my family, everyone looks for me to do the impossible sometimes.
Mm,
How did it affect you,
right.
and how did it make you a better father and a better
Well,
person knowing that your son was going through this?
well, when it first we first found out, it was a blow, but I always we always just push for better things. So
Yeah,
once we found that diabetes was in existence, then
hmm
we started as a family to pray more, ask God to show us the way with Him.
yeah,
So and besides that, Tony was a pusher, and he still is a pusher.
yeah,
I mean, he never give up. Always figured there's a way to make it.
yeah,
Even though he had that, I preached to him, hey, we're going to get through this. You just got to be strong and have faith in what you want to do.
yeah,
So
Hmm.
that's basically what he did. He worked hard at it. And the biggest part of this thing is he had family supporting him in whatever he do.
yeah,
Yeah.
Uh, and I take this back to when, and I can't remember the exact date it was, but it was a opening of the football season when he was with the Patriots, and they played up in Ohio there at Hall of Fame, and they was
Yeah.
playing the
49ers. So
Hmm.
we Georges had Tony number was number 41,
Hmm.
and it was 25 41 jerseys out there.
There we go.
And Bill Belichick stopped over and he was asking me, he said, "What in the world is going on?" I said, "This is the way the Georgians support
There we go.
Tony.
This is the way the Georges do it.
Yeah, yeah.
We roll like this, you know, and we've been rolling like this all our life, you know.
Hey,
Yeah.
I love
Right.
that.
Hmm.
So
I love that.
you know, it was that way, and that's what's going to happen when you make him your defensive coordinator. He's going to have your team terrorizing folks, you know.
Oh yeah.
We
Oh yeah. I know.
because the
I
the
know.
pa- the Patriots the Patriots had Ronnie Lott when he first got there, but Tony was already a headhunter. You know, I mean, he was a
Well, they
headhunter.
had
I mean, I
no
used
Ronnie
to
Lott.
tell him
They
every
had
game. I said,
Ronnie Lott there. Ronnie Lott was on the 49ers, but he came to our practice and he taught me what I should be doing. So I learned from
yeah,
the greatest of all times with Ronnie Lott. And he told me, he's like, I heard that you are a knockout artist. And then I said, I turned around. I'm like, man, who is this talking to me? And I saw it was Ronnie Lott with the half bit off finger. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Ronnie Lott, you know. And I'm like, yeah, whatever you telling me, I'm absorbing. You tell me,
Yeah.
he said, whatever you think, he said, right before you take that tackle, take one more step and watch the seat on your uniform and never get dirty. I don't think I ever had a dirty uniform in the NFL. I've never had a grass stain, nothing, because that's what Ronnie Lott told me to take one more step.
One
Yeah.
more step.
And and
Hey.
dude, I tell you, I
Oh,
tell everybody, I said, I'm gonna give you a 215-pound headache. That's what you're gonna catch every time. But I learned from the best. That was that moment. And when Belichick saw that with us with family, got something here. He like, I got something with this kid.
Yeah.
I heard
That's
something similar from Ken Houston one time, another one of the all time greats at safety. You know, I was doing the my show's called Hall of Fame
Reset
because
real
the
quick.
first thing I started doing was a the Hall of Fame campaign for Otis Taylor back in the day, and
Uh,
Kenny Houston and I were talking on an interview, and he brought that up that he became one of those guys that he was a big hitter too because that was the first thing that he ever that he had learned too was like take one more step that way you're gonna hit to the other side of them, you
yes,
know.
yes,
So
dude. It
you're gonna
was
hit the other side of that guy. So Kenny Houston is another one of those guys, another top 100 safety. So he was that's crazy that all the greats seem to know that.
It's amazing that even in that, it's just, you know,
right.
it's just little nuggets here and there that make people become who they can, the best part of themselves. And it's those little nuggets that attach to you that you'll never forget. And that's what keeps you going in that element, but also in the life element as well.
Amazing stuff.
All right. We finally got Robert in. Robert, you are the last ones that we get to, man. I apologize. I seen you popping in and popping out and everything, man. I'm trying to make sure that everybody get their shine on because I'm very privileged, man. We're privileged, man, for the Tony George family, man, to pop in the way they have and everything, man. So uh, I won't ask you about the diabetes and everything. I think that we all know that the family is going to always stick by Tony through thick and thin. I want to ask you about the business side of Tony and everything. I know that he's a great entrepreneur and everything, but what is your take on how Tony has dealt with his life after football?
I think we lost him again,
I
coach.
think I got him. I got him. I got him. I got him.
I'm sorry. I keep
You good,
breaking
Robert?
up for some reason. I really couldn't understand what you was asking.
The question I asked is that I didn't want to ask about the diabetes. I think we addressed that the family is going to always have his back, is going to always be there. I wanted to ask you about the entrepreneur side of Tony, the business mind. life after football. How do you think Tony has done so far in his life since the life after football?
From what you just asked, what I gathered was that you was asking about the entrepreneurial side of my brother.
Yes, sir.
Okay, basically, it's like first I want to give honor to God, who it is definitely the head of my life,
Yes, sir.
and also I want to say ditto to what my parents and my siblings said in regards to my youngest brother. I'm the oldest out of six, so I have a
I think he been out. I think he went out. I think he's in and out. I think he's cycling in and out. I'm gonna get him back in when he comes back in. But
Okay.
no, Tony, be, there he is.
Yes.
He's back in. He's back in. Hold on, I got him. I got him.
you got me there.
Are you there, Rob? You
Okay, well,
good?
I don't know for how long, but I'm gonna get this in as quickly as possible.
All right.
Uh, as far as the business side of my
Yes, sir.
brother, this guy is a go getter. His foot is on the gas all the time. He surprises me all the time because I didn't know he was just that intelligent. He's a go getter. He shows me a lot of stuff, and I don't really know that I didn't know, but what I mean.
Yeah.
But he's a go getter. He's a go getter, and I'm just glad to be a part of what's going on. Because what we have, we know what we have. When we're gonna
He's cycling through. I'm trying to get him through. I want to make sure that I get him because he's trying. He's been there for the
He's
longest.
trying to tell me, I want him to move that. Don't move the phone. Let's just talk it.
Oh no, you good. I'm gonna get him back in here in a second. He just popped back in, and I'm gonna give him his time and everything, man, because he waited so long. There you go, Robert. I got you, bud. I'm gonna give you your time, man. You waited so long. I got you.
hey, boy, it's okay being last sometimes, you know.
Hey,
Yeah,
go.
but my brother, I tell you, we have a lot of trial and errors, you know what I'm saying. But the time was well worth it
Yeah,
because we want to do something that helps the people of the world. We're gonna do
yes,
our part.
yeah,
And what we have, it doesn't care what color you are, it doesn't care what religion you are, it doesn't care what sex you are. You know what I mean? So we're gonna shock the world with this
yes.
because what we
He's
Okay.
cycling. He's cycling. I think what it is and everything. I'm gonna try to hold on. Let me give him. I'm
Well, and
kicking
Tony, you
people.
could always piggyback off of that too, is and what you're trying to do with your entrepreneurial side, and I know that you do a lot of stuff that's not for
I'm
profit.
sorry, guys.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Jason, before you get started, I want Robert to be
No,
able to
go ahead.
finish him
Please,
anything because
please,
I
please.
want him. I want him to get his time. Robert, we got you, but
I think he's talking to somebody else.
no, is Robert
You
in?
talking to me?
Yes, sir. I want you to get your time in, man. I want you to finish what you were saying. I apologize.
Keep going in and out.
I think he's all right, Jason. I'm gonna try to help him out. All right, Jason, ask your question, and
I
I'll get
was,
him back
I
in
know,
here in a
I was
second.
just going to say, I mean, he can kind of piggyback off of what his brother was saying. There is like, with everything that you're doing, with your platform that you've been able to build through football. I mean, and through your ministry. How did you get to the point where you are as far as your entrepreneurial side? I guess.
Well, I think you know the biggest thing is that when I left the NFL, I I did not receive another check from another working organization from that point on. I've been self-employed ever since, and in the process of that self-employment, uh, I've been blessed to meet a lot of great people. A lot of people that have poured into me, seeing me grow, seeing me struggle, seeing me go through a variety of different things. Um, and I think a lot of my later business ventures, a lot of them came because of the struggle. When I first left the NFL, I got into personal training, which my company, you can see on this shirt, is called Heat Pro Fitness.
Yes.
So since 2005, I retired in 2004, and I got serious about training in about 2005. And since 2005, we helped 176 kids get scholarships.
Yep.
Wow.
To me, it became greater, and the call was for greater, but I was scared to move outside of what I was comfortable in. I was
Mhm.
comfortable in training and working with kids. Even to this day, kids just gravitate to me and they'll listen. And I'm more than happy to give them my expertise and what I know, but also you're gonna be I create what I call the quiet confidence. You ain't gonna have to say much. You just gonna have to show up and do what it is that I'm telling you to do. And when you go out on the field, they'll know that you're touching greatness, because that's the way that I teach. I give greatness, so I expect greatness. So in their head, they don't have to say much. They work to show it for them. That being said, after I got into that element, get into um, what I'm in with my nonprofit. My nonprofit was giving back. Um, I realized that I can help and change as many lives as possible, and I created something called Trinity X Pharmacy, and we help people with traumatic injuries of the brain and body get cycled back into society. How do we do that? I make each person responsible for a fruit and a vegetable. So we nurture that fruit and we nurture that vegetable. I got 17 fruits, 15 vegetables, and we grow those vegetables. And you are responsible for making sure that that plant or that tree is grown properly. So the way that we're nurturing that plant, that fruit, and that vegetable, that's the way that we're going to nurture you. We're
Yep.
going to help you to bear fruit the
Mhm.
right way. Um, so once I got involved in that, it led me to my newest venture up. Let me just take a break in there because at after creating Trinity X Pharmacy, my mind and my body lapsed. Don't know what happened, but I can get into the 63 concussions a little bit later, because that's what I had. I told you about that one step process. I had
Oof.
63 concussions and
Yep.
11-year fight with the NFL that amounted to nothing but me losing a lot of time of my life. Um, that being said, I had to teach myself how to walk again, how to talk again, how to count again. This person that you're seeing right now, I'm a new man.
Yep.
I wasn't this way. I
Wow.
lost everything. The the only people that were there to be able to see this, because I hid from my family. The beautiful family that you just saw, I hid from them because I was at my weakest point, and I didn't want them to see me like that. I didn't go to family gatherings. I didn't do anything. I could barely pick myself up to come out of the bed. I went showers for 3 or 4 days. I literally lost my will to live until my wife, that is now my wife, she's my girlfriend then. My wife came in the picture and just nurtured me back one step at a time, one step at a time. My mother-in-law was there with us. With us because my wife, my girlfriend, my wife now, could not handle me on a daily basis. Um, it was one of those things. So for about 5 years, I was trying to
Tony,
mold
I
myself
think
to
you're
get
getting away
myself
from
back
your
into a
phone.
normal. Okay, you hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry.
What about now? You hear me
Yes, we
now?
hear you. Yeah.
Okay. So I spent a lot of time getting away from that, and I said, you know what? It's time for me to get back to what I know. And my wife was the one that made sure that she was taking these steps with me. She was making sure that I got the proper insurance. She was making sure that I went to my doctor's appointment. She was making sure that my diabetes was taken care of. She had to put everything that I was supposed to do as a man, she put on her back. And that's why she became my wife, because I knew that once I got back on my feet, and it was just a matter of time, but I
Yeah.
knew I wasn't going to lay there long, But the bottom line was I needed that support from someone at that point, and I was too busy running from my family where that love was already there. I was running from them because I never wanted them to see me in a weak state.
Yeah.
So that's a testament now that I got back on my feet. I created
Obviously,
something.
you started your nonprofit for that reason for other folks that had
Yes,
had those right. So
yes,
how prevalent is that? I know we've seen so much with CTE. How
yes.
prevalent is that for pro football players?
I think each guy needs to understand what they're going into because that pigskin lead, I don't never call them out, but that pigskin lead will not tell you
Exactly.
what's good and what's bad for you.
Yeah.
They'll tell you what's good for them, but
Sure.
they won't tell you what they've been researching since 1977 and dropping dummies in elevators and getting concussion tests that have already been done, which was shown in the movie Concussion, but nobody took it to heart. You know, all these different things are happening, and guys are coming up with dementia and Alzheimer's and all these other wonderful things. And to the point right now, I speak with uh, a company that is working with dementia. It's called the Dementia Institute. They're wanting me to come on board and be a part of their panel because of my crawl back to this moment.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
everything about my nonprofit and Trinity X Pharmacy is geared to everything I went through in those times and in those moments.
I applaud you for it. I applaud you for it. Again, I was talking about Otis Taylor earlier. I mean, he spent the last 15, 16 years of his life laid up, because of the pounding that he took
Yeah.
in professional
Yeah.
football in the AFL and then the
Oh
NFL
man,
and stuff.
yeah.
We
Listen,
okay.
it's 63 concussions. I just tell everybody I played in probably about I want to say 80 games in my career, 80,
Mhm.
84. Most I just thinking back now and realizing that I was almost averaging a concussion per game. you know,
It's crazy.
I think I only missed one game. I missed one game in my lifetime for turf toe,
Mm.
but that was probably the clearest I was able to think. And you can ask my parents when they used to come and see me at the NFL games. They couldn't talk to me directly after the game. I had to literally go to a dark room, decompress for about an hour and a half, and my girl at the time was not allowing people to come in the room to see me until I decompress, and then I come out, and then I was suffering from concussions and didn't know that I was suffering from concussions. um, so now every part of my walk with Trinity X Pharmacy, man, this is this is the life I want guys to understand about. But as in anything, when a guy like me, an old guy like me, uh, they say I'm old, but an old guy like me that's played in the NFL, we're gonna go back and speak to these younger guys. They're not gonna want to listen. They're not mature
Be,
enough to handle that conversation.
before you say that, because that was one of the questions I wanted to ask you, and
Yeah.
we're gonna we're gonna jump on this right quick because I want to
Okay.
because 48 minutes of giving you your flowers. I love that, and the family is still in the back room. You guys can always still listen. And what I'm gonna do is try to cipher you guys in when we get some of these questions done because I've had a lot of people, Tony, email questions in.
Okay.
I have this thing called Thursdays Conversations, which I moved to Sundays now, where people email in and ask questions.
Uh-huh.
Dude, plethora. I sent you the email. There
Yes.
is plethora of questions. So one of the questions I want to ask you, man, is looking back, what advice would you give young athletes who dream of making it to the NFL? Honest opinion, because you've done both.
My honest opinion, I tell everybody this. My son will not play in the NFL. My son won't play football. And it's because there are not enough steps involved to go in a preventative mode. NFL deals in reaction, and they're always reactive after the fact.
Absolutely.
Until you put something
100%.
preventative ahead, until you put something preventative ahead, there's going to be a massive decline in this sport And guys need to understand that there is no amount of money that you can make. And I'll be the first to tell them, I've made more money outside in the NFL since I left the NFL than I've ever made. I probably tripled my income, and I was a millionaire in the NFL. So I probably tripled my income after I was done playing.
Hmm.
But there is no amount of money the NFL can give you for your sanity. If somebody had told me that I would have had 5 years blocked out of my life and then another 11 years fighting with the NFL, trying to figure out whether or not it's worth it, I would have never laced those things up. I probably would have did track and field because I was really doing good at that. Or I could have played basketball. I was pretty darn good at all of those things. But had I known what I know now back then, at least I would have had the option to understand that, hey, your brain trauma and what you're dealing with, and this CTE and this dementia and these night tremors and these night tremors and cold sweats, I still currently have. Um,
Well,
you
yeah, we
know,
used to call it just getting your bell rung, right? Because I think
oh
we're about
yeah,
the same age. So that's we didn't really know what a concussion was back in those days,
No.
bro.
no, we would, hey, get some smelling salt and go back in the game.
Hey,
Right?
they didn't teach proper technique back in the day. Everything was,
No,
let's try to knock somebody out. I mean,
correct,
and
100%.
we call it alligator arms. It ain't
Uh
alligator
huh.
arms. It's just that, do I really want to go across this middle
Yeah,
and take one to the chops?
correct,
Do I
Mhm.
really want to go across the
correct.
middle? Because we know what the intention is from that
Yes,
defender.
yeah,
And it
100%.
It's
was,
crazy when you play the second half of a football game, coach in high school and stuff. And you don't
yes,
remember it. I
I
mean,
don't
I
Yeah.
remember.
remember I catch three footballs in the second half of a game. I don't know nothing about it. You know.
I've
Oh
had
wow.
I've had the smelling salt come and get me up, and it's embarrassing because my mom jumped the fence, and it's one thing as a
Yeah.
guy, you don't want your mom nowhere on the field.
No. Yeah,
Hey,
man.
get off the field. But her son is laying there unconscious, and
Yeah.
smell salt. I didn't know what smell salt was until it hit
Yeah.
me,
Oh
and
yeah.
I'm laying there on the ground but it was rewarded back then when you
Yes.
lay somebody out and they laying there. And now, as you say, we didn't know what concussion was back in those days.
Correct.
So my next question to you is very important to you. I know your foundation focuses on mentoring youth. What are
Hmm.
some of the biggest challenges young people face today, and how can mentors like you and myself make a difference?
My goodness. Social media has turned teaching a child the right way into a thesis, writing a thesis paper. You like, it
Mm,
is the most unbelievable thing trying to get the kid to even have a conversation.
yeah,
Like how to sit across from a person and say, hello, how are you doing? How to tell someone, hey, you got a nice shirt on, or you got a nice dress on, or you look nice today. You can't even have that conversation with kids today. And that mentoring aspect has been almost replaced with social media. We are
yeah,
Our kids are being mentored by social media.
yeah,
That's not a good thing.
No, and it's not. It's like anything that you can think of, and how to help these kids do the right thing is being taught how to do it in a quick, fast, and in a hurry way.
yes,
And as a mentor, you're trying to teach them steps that'll make things last, as opposed to getting it quick, fast, and in a hurry. So one of our biggest things as a mentor, and this is any of my kids that I teach, I sit them down and I talk to them, and I talk to them about where they're at in school. I talk about how their feelings are when they go home, when their parents are asking them to clean a room. Because if you can't understand where they're at, you can't help them to
you
get where
can't
they're
teach them.
supposed to be.
Yes,
You know? So I spend a lot of time slowing kids down. Like I have conversations with the kids in the neighborhood that are riding the dirt bikes, and everybody's on social media talking about how fast they're driving, and they don't have any helmets on. All right, cool. I need y'all to pop up at my driveway. Meet me up here, and I need to talk with y'all. And they're sitting, take my word, like like it's reading the Bible. you know,
Yeah.
I can appreciate that because if
Yeah.
we can teach those kids, if you can reach one, you can teach one.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's the goal is to try to give them the things that are going to nurture them to help them understand. Hey, we love you, but if you continue doing things this way, there's going to be a discipline involved with that you're not going to
Yeah.
like.
Yes.
So how do we come up with something where everyone can benefit? I guarantee you now, you won't catch any kids riding without their helmets through my neighborhood and don't stop by and say, "Hey, Doctor Tony," or "Hey, Mister Tony," or "Hey, you the football guy, aren't you?" You know, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
thank you. I went and got my helmet yesterday. Okay,
Yeah.
good. You know,
Yeah.
when you can reach them, you can teach them. You know, but kids got to feel like their word is being heard. That's the main thing of the day.
What we were talking about in the green room, I want to bring that back up because I want that to be addressed and everything. I know it's old, and me and you have put it to bed.
Uh-huh.
But speaking on that, when me and you were together, we were coaching. There were so many parents that were against me and you being together, and and
Yeah.
and the effect that me and you no, I mean, Jason, I shoot,
Because
crap
they were
me
getting
hot.
smoked. Is that what that was about?
Well,
They were just
well,
getting
no,
smoked.
no, no.
Yeah.
It's you have two energetic people that have one goal in mind. It's all about teaching. We were teaching middle school kids college stuff
Correct.
at a middle school level. We were teaching them
Hmm.
college stuff. What technique was, what a cover two was, what a cover four is. When the tight end goes here, where are you going to place? Is the safety going to come down? Tony was in charge of the defense, and we would have battles all the time. I was on the offense, he was on defense, and we would go at it. I thought people would be happy, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it. It's 6, 7, 8 years later. I'm gonna say it now. In the area that we taught, it was not rare for two black coaches to be on the same team.
Correct. Yeah.
In the
Uh,
area that we were, it was a predominantly white neighborhood,
mhm.
and you have two black men that came in and took a team that won only 2 games the previous year, and they went into the semifinals the next year.
Yes.
Just
Wow.
that fast. Just that fast. So Tony, I'm going to ask you. Just you never got a chance to speak on it. How did that bother you that you never got to finish?
It bothered me because not only were we making change for the well-off kids of that school, we were making changes to the kids that were causing the trouble in the school.
Yes.
And more than anything else, when when there's a break in the foundation, you can best believe that things are going to shift.
Yeah.
You know, we had a solid foundation, and all of a sudden, based on something from my past, I was not able to coach anymore because they found something that came up. And mind you, I did my time and everything to have all of that stuff, taken away. And let me be clear. I'll speak to everybody now. And in 2012, I had an attempted first degree murder charge that was pinned on me.
Yep.
Mm.
Um, and they wanted me to cop out to a 30-year plea. I said no. This guy and his friends jumped me,
Yep.
which they did, tried to anyway. But after I knocked the guy out that caused the issue, and the other two saw that I knocked it out, they tried to follow me to my car. So I was able to carry. I was registered and everything else. I made sure that jumping thing was not going to happen. Ended up going back into a place that I probably should not have been, and then that guy can try to sneak catch me, and in order for me not to fall on my registered thing, I removed it, and his buddy hit my hand. Guns goes off one time, and he gets popped in the shoulder. Not that I aimed it at him or anything. It was me defending myself. But here we go. This is the story that people did that. So that happened in 2012. I had a trial in 2014, and then instead of doing 30 years, I got a 90-day sentence out of all
Wow.
of that.
Yeah.
Of which I
There's
told
a
the
big difference in 30 years and
yeah,
90 days, man.
Hey,
Dang.
yeah,
hey,
no,
yeah.
no, hold on, you ain't that ain't even the
It
trip.
gets better,
I'm about to,
Jason.
I'm
Hold on,
about,
hold on.
it gets better. So had everything that I had said, I'm a firm believer. I don't lie. I don't lie. I just don't believe in lying.
I agree
It
with
just
that.
it's too much. But everything that I said to be true was on film.
Yeah.
So they kept going to this guy's bar and kept going to the bar and kept going to the bar and said, "Hey, we need your film. We need your film." So finally, after the guy changes the name of the bar, he releases the old film. And what he didn't want to see was that the guy that was there was doing all these different types of drugs that were on the bar and things of that nature, and they didn't want to get in trouble for that. But everything that I said to be true was on that film. So 52 days later, while I was in jail, they got that film, and the minute they got it, I was released. But here's what the problem was. At that point, I had lost my house, I had lost my
Yep.
car, I lost my job, and I, in some capacity, I lost some of my common sense. you know, like I almost lost everything. So by the time that I came back to the world of training and working with kids, this was my first deal working back with kids.
Yeah.
So the hurt that I had being able to come back from that fight, win in an essence, lose everything, and then still come back and still be able to try to make it happen. It was pulled from us at a state where I ended up having to coach from the sidelines. I wasn't allowed back into. I was allowed to come to the games, but I couldn't come to be out on the field as a coach because those
Wow.
parents didn't want me out there thinking that I was a problem or an issue. That's my opinion, but I don't
No,
know if that to be
Yeah.
true.
no. I'm gonna speak on that because after he left, I got Jason. Remember I told you that game that I got blowed out. That game was when the one that he wasn't there. I can say that now. He
Yeah.
wasn't there to coach the defense. We had a guy that was trying to run what Tony was running to run, but he didn't know how to run it.
Right.
You are an AD, but instead of getting me somebody that can do it, you will take on the responsibility. So now I got to be the head coach, the offensive coordinator, the running back coach, the wide receiver coach. I got to be the tight end coach. The offensive line coach we had didn't really know anything. So once Tony left, I was by myself. And I mean
Right.
by myself to where I lost all my hair, heart attack,
Yeah.
and stress. But
Yeah.
what hurt me was we made these boys a family, and I tell
Yes.
Tony to this day, those boys still call us.
Still
Those
call
boys
us.
still reach out to us, and it's not
Mm-hmm.
about football. It's not about football. It's
It's
about
life.
life. It's about
Yes.
family. It's about, hey, coach, I got a girlfriend, and my mom. We always say the same thing. Me and Tony always say the same thing. We'll give them advice, but our first thing is, what did your mom and
What did your
dad
mom
say?
and dad say? Mm-hmm.
We always. That's why me and him get along so well because we think a lot.
Yep.
And when God brought me him and then I say God took him away. The circumstance took him away. I felt alone and by myself.
Yeah.
So speed it up now to 6, 7 years later. These boys still call us coach and still call us for advice. That means
Mm-hmm.
more to me than anything. That's why I
Anything.
can I
Yeah.
can say that coaching and mentoring these young kids, man, is the greatest point of my life to where I can say I can affect a kid in a certain way. So
Yes.
I wanted you to speak on that, man, because I wanted people to know, man, because a lot of parents, man, were wanting, and the bad part about that, I we took them to a 10-2 record, a 10-2-1. So
10,
we
2, and
tied
1.
one game.
Mm-hmm.
We
Uh-huh.
had a triple overtime, and the score was 6-6.
Yes.
Defense was a
Yeah,
we
we
were
was lit.
About
a
some lights out
hey
hitting going
hey
on that
hey
day, huh?
Jason. When I tell you, Tony had those boys locked in to where when you hear that movie on Remember the Titans, I don't want to get another yard.
Yeah.
Not one
Tony
more.
had him blitzing out of no. That coach had no idea what he was going up against.
Mm-mm.
He had no clue. So when Tony was gone, man, but I just want him to know, man, that that is the best time of my life that I had coaching was when he was
Yeah.
by my side because
It's awesome.
we took them boys and the family too, and we had a
Yes.
family picnic out on the football field
Yes.
to where
100%.
grandmas, grandpas, kids, sisters, everybody came.
Everybody. Everybody.
We still got a picture right now of me, Tony, the whole defensive line, the whole offensive line that I
Yeah.
still got on my wall
Oh
from that
yeah.
picnic. And this is what bothers me is that they wanted us gone.
Yeah.
So the next year, when I tried to come back, they wouldn't let me come back. So I left.
Yeah.
All because
Uh,
of we didn't run the program they wanted to run.
yeah.
Even though it was winning, and, it's funny how folks get in the way of that stuff. That you take a
Hey,
Yeah.
program that wasn't winning and you do it your way and it wins, and the kids love you, and yet
Mm-hmm.
that
they
they'd
were the
rather they'd
laughing
rather
stock.
lose doing it their way.
They were the laughing stock of the district. They
Wow.
were.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody wanted to go to Springfield and everything. Everybody wanted to go to Pleasant Plain. They wanted to go
Pleasant
where,
Hill.
yeah,
Yeah.
Pleasant Hill. They had 14 coaches on the sideline, Jason,
Golly.
and it was just
And
me
it
and
me
Garrett
is it. Yeah.
That's
up against
crazy.
14 coaches. I mean, and I'm like, and we still was winning.
One, who are you
Yeah.
guys' coaching mentors? That's what I want to ask out of this. Is I know you played for great coaches and Coach Ricks. I know that you played for, uh, in high school.
Oh man, hey man, you
You
talking
you
about
had coaches, you had amazing coaches at that time, and I know you
Coach
obviously probably
Blankenship,
did too, Tony.
Blankenship.
Yeah, Coach Blank.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know his son real well.
Yes,
So coaching at Mustang now out there. So,
yeah,
but I guess that'd be my question. Who were your main coaching mentors once you started doing that? Who did you take from the most?
Tony.
Oh man. Let's see. I got three, and even a fourth one when I got to the professional levels helped me to see some things. My first one, obviously, on my high school level, Lou Sincar. Um, this guy was unbelievably one of the chillest, but the most intense
Yeah.
Italian guys that you will ever meet on the sideline, and one of the best dressed but serious about football that you'll ever meet. He was
Mhm.
clean in everything, the way that he talked, his just debonair. But when he got that roar, oh boy, you better have it together.
Yeah.
So I learned how to that togetherness from him.
Mm.
Coach Spurrier was Mr. I don't care who you are, and I don't care what you're gonna do. We gonna follow this guideline, and if you can't do it, I'm gonna find somebody that can do it, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna put them in. Steve Spurrier was that guy. I just loved every part about him. He loved everything about you as a person. But
Yeah.
if you can't do it, you can't do it. He'll get somebody else to do it, but he'll show you how to get it done. Then on the defensive side of that, I had a guy by the name of Bob Stoops.
Oh yeah, we know about him.
That middle Ohio guy. Yeah, I got this tough talk like this, and he was just like, look, man, look, it wasn't nothing happening. Oh, I need you to lock that guy down right now. You don't lock him down, I'm gonna get somebody else, and then we gonna bump heads until you get it right. Okay, yeah, I got it. Ain't nobody scoring a touchdown over this way, guaranteed. And then when I got to the NFL, I learned from a guy by the name of Pete Carroll. I know many people would say Bill Belichick. No, Bill Belichick was a complete disciplinarian and had you walking on
CEO.
eggshells. Yeah, he had you walking on eggshells. But Pete Carroll was the way that you supposed to treat a man when they make it to that level.
Yeah.
That's how Pete Carroll did it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I had to learn that because I always thought it had to be this tough, edgy thing because we're at the highest level. And he's like, nah, man, if you don't make your beating, I'm just gonna fine you. But you going, yeah, come on out here. Now, if you don't do your job during the week, okay, that's fine. I find some. I'm gonna put somebody else in your spot. But Pete Carroll was the most chill, most organized, and just Mr. Everyday. He's gonna come with a smile. And I mean, Pete Carroll was 65, 66 years old out there throwing the ball around with us and trying to make sure that we don't catch the ball.
Yeah.
He really understood his players. So those four guys right there molded me into that world of understanding football. And there's not one thing that I didn't need from each one of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I needed all of it.
Yeah, Coach Stoops is intense, wasn't he? Coach Stoops
Oh, I
intense.
love it. Man, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all this one story. Man, he was so intense. One day he and Coach Spurrier got into it in a coaches meeting that we couldn't even practice at the same time. The defense had to practice. Defense practiced in the evening that day, and Coach Spurrier practiced early up in the afternoon. He was like, "I'm not." And Coach Spurrier got this crazy.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not going back out there. We're not dealing with you guys today. I ain't dealing with Bobby today. You guys go do your own thing. And
Yeah,
Coach Stoops
with
was like,
Bobby.
"Hey, that's fine. That's fine with us. We can run over here. Hey, we gonna react. We gonna do what we do." So
Yeah.
they literally was at odds for almost 2 days. And that wasn't the funniest part. The funniest part was trying to see how the coaches or assistant coaches was interacting with one another.
Who gonna take whose side?
Hey, what do we do in this situation? Look, they huddled up out the hallway, and we're laughing practice. Listen, they whispering we got practice, but they don't know what time.
Yeah.
Crazy. Y'all got practice. We don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll let you guys know.
That's awesome.
But yeah, man, that intensity I think was needed for championship ball.
What do you remember mostly about winning the 1996 national championship with the Gators?
Dude, it was that never say die, that no quit. I think that was everything for us. Like 95 we played against what I call the Red Husker, Corn Huskers of Nebraska.
Yeah.
Man, listen, they had something called they had a running back by the name of Lawrence Phillips and they had a quarterback by the name of Tommy Frazier.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that 1-2 punch, man, I don't know if it could have gotten any. I don't know if it could have gotten any better, but Lawrence Phillips, I knew we were in trouble, and I just say it this way: I knew we was in trouble when we ran through their drills. And he was stretching and laughing at us while we're like loud, we're jumping through their lines and everything else. He's just like stretching. He's not even paying us any attention. He just started laughing. Yeah. And man, from the time he put his foot in the ground from that first snap, all the way to that clock hit 0 in the fourth quarter, he gave us the business. So in 95, they beat the brakes off of us for the championship.
I remember that. That's one of the best. That's also one of the best college football teams of all time, right? I mean,
I don't see anybody that. I mean, they talk
Tony,
about
what do you
Miami
place them?
2000.
What do you place them?
I place them over
2000.
I place them over to Miami. I place them over there because everybody on their kickoff team ran 4.4 or less.
Ooh,
and they had D linemen that was running. Jason Peters, man, listen, I've never seen a team that plowed down a front line like they did ours. It was unbelievable. You can see everybody. I'm the only on that.
And what do you
team,
do with
I
a
was
guy
the
like
only
Tommy? What do you do with a guy like Tommy, man? Because he's just
you just pray and hope he's inaccurate, and you pray and hope he's inaccurate and he don't run the ball. That's what you pray for.
Yeah.
But I mean, these are guys that just that whole team could have got flowers from like the defensive backs to the linebackers. They had a guy by the name of Terrell Farley.
Yep. Oh man, I forgot about him.
Listen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
man,
Jesus.
Listen. I modeled myself after just watching him play. Like that kid had fun playing the game. Like it was just
so good.
I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play that way.
And that's Oklahoma fans, man. We hated those dudes, but golly, they were good.
They were solid.
Yeah.
solid all the way around, and just so darn disciplined and well coached. Coach
Yeah.
Osborne. He
Yeah,
just
man.
he was the epitome of winning the chip, what it looked like. They they
Chill,
they
wasn't he?
they
Just
ran that.
chill. You never really saw him change his demeanor much, you know?
Mm-mm, mm-mm. So that whole '95 season was held up over our head, and that's what motivated our '96 season.
Gotcha.
Like nothing that nobody did was gonna. We weren't gonna be outworked ever again. We weren't gonna be out toughed ever again. We were not gonna be outran ever again. And the fourth quarter came. The game didn't start until it hit 0-0 in the fourth quarter. That was our mentality. All right, we
Mhm.
getting ready to play now. All right, now let's have fun. That was our whole mindset. Like we had to change our whole deal, man. And that that year before did it for us.
Oh, let
For the
me
deal.
let me ask you a question. You would be the perfect person to ask this question. What is the difference between the SEC, the ACC, the Big Ten, and all? I mean, just be honest, because we
Yeah.
hear now
Yeah, we want to hear this. This is good
all the
stuff.
Big Ten is just this. I want to really hear from a all American, all SEC. What is the difference between the SEC, the Big Ten, the ACC, the Big 12, and now no longer the Pac-12? What's the difference?
I think the biggest difference is that we were playing we was playing we was playing NFL ball on Saturdays in the SEC. I and to an extent it's still kind of that way now, even when you get up to like the Big 12/Big 10, whatever that is now. Um, they don't play a bunch of even parity teams every single week, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
So we had a whole Eastern division and a Western division, and you, the top four teams in each one of those sides every single week was going to give you the business. At that time, we only had two kind of fall off teams, which was Vanderbilt and Kentucky,
Mhm.
and and even now, if you now
get
they
caught slipping.
yeah, you get caught slipping, you gonna fall to that Vanderbilt or Kentucky right now. But
Yeah, Kentucky
dude,
and Mississippi State almost beat Texas last year.
man, listen, there's too much parity. I think that came across the board when, like, at the time when we played, parity was not that type of a deal
Yeah,
like it
It's
is
never been a
now.
goal. It's
Yeah,
never been a
but
goal.
yeah,
no, but see now, shoot, yeah,
Yeah,
you gonna find parity. Anybody can beat anybody any week now.
yeah.
But that was the biggest difference, is that you had every skill position was loaded in the SEC, and every skill position that you saw in the SEC, you knew you was gonna see them on Sunday.
yeah,
So it was like, huh? At least through the top four teams on each side of each division,
yeah.
you can go through those top four teams, and you can be like, okay, these kids, this is who you're gonna see on Sunday. So you may as well get ready
Yeah.
for it. So by the time you got to the NFL and you were seeing those guys, we had saw that before.
Mhm.
It wasn't a big fall off. That's why he has so many great defensive backs like a Champ Bailey and a Patrick Peterson and Fernando Bryan. All those guys are SEC guys.
Mhm.
And we got the Ryan Clark and the Honey Badgers and all those. These are all
Yeah.
SECs. All them
My guy Shawty
SEC
talks
guys.
about that all the time. He
Dude,
played
like,
at Georgia with Champ.
yeah, dude,
Thad
I
Parker, he
played
was a
against
receiver
Champ.
there. Yeah,
I
yeah.
play I played
So you
against
played
Champ.
you played against Shawty too. He was at Georgia. So he was a Thad Parker was his name, receiver. So
Oh
little
yeah.
dude, a
Oh,
lot of
Parker.
speed. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And
I know him.
he's like, man, he goes, Champ was just different. You could
Yeah.
just tell he was just different, and he said it was like
Mm-hmm.
that every week. Every week you
Yeah.
go out there and you play these guys, and especially at the best schools in each division. But like you play Bama
Mm-hmm.
or you play, you're gonna play LSU or Bama or whatever, and obviously Georgia and Florida, Tennessee, you
Yeah.
gonna go out there and have work to do, you know.
Yeah. You're gonna have work. And that those teams, man, like it's just they brought it was just a different type of expectancy when you came to the SEC. You just kind of knew that
Yeah.
these skilled guys, they were going to be fast, because you're getting the best of Florida, you're getting the best of Texas, and if you're really really good, you're gonna get some of California. The offensive and defensive linemen, they mostly packed up north and went up there to the Big Ten and got the, you got the Michigan, all them big boys, and then the
Yeah.
Penn States and
Yeah.
obviously the Ohio States. All
Yeah.
that's where I came from. I mean, originally I got recruited by 167 colleges and universities.
Yep.
So going up to Ohio State every weekend was a no brainer, you know. Um, but
Mhm.
knowing that if I wanted to really get a challenge, I'm gonna have to go where they was showing the most love at, and they was giving all the Florida boys love at that time. So I wanted to go where they went, and everybody was piling into Florida at that time.
By you saying that, uh, Jason, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to ask this what they man, I was thinking about Spurrier, and all the jabbing and stuff that he would do. How much, there ain't you can't spell citrus without UT and stuff like
Uh-huh.
that. How much did that pump you guys up as playing for him? Did you like it that he did that, or what did that do for you guys? Because obviously he's got to believe in you to be able to say those things.
Yes, we already knew we were gonna back it up. We
Mhm.
already knew it. There was not even a question of whether or not we were gonna back it up or not. It was just a matter of when and how much.
Yeah.
Spurrier was a guy that he didn't purposely run the score up. He would put his fourth string guys in there and demand y'all go out here and show me why you can earn a scholarship.
Mhm.
And guys would literally be fighting to earn a scholarship that was fourth string, and then they might catch a reward on Tuesday. We just never know. Or Monday Night Football, what we call it. We used to have Monday Night Football. Monday Night Football. Spurrier might pass out a scholarship to somebody that done worked and earned it and bust their
Yeah.
tail in the game. He gonna reward you.
Yeah.
He's gonna put back into his players that he's putting in the work. So
Did y'all
yeah, I
find it
mean,
funny the stuff that he would say though? I mean, because he'd be talking, man. It's some of
man,
the stuff that the ball coach would say, man. I remember thinking back on and being like, man, dude is crazy.
if you could have been a fly on the wall, you would have, dude, you would have died laughing. I swear, it was Spurrier he was comedy, but it was crazy. It's funny because it's like you had to really kind of catch yourself. Like, did he really say that? He said that, and then you look around the room like one time we had a
Free
we had a
shoes
guy.
university and
Yeah, boy, listen, all of that. He would come into the Spurrier was not a defensive guy at all. When he came to the meetings, man, every player that was sitting in the front moved to the back. Because he wasn't getting on the players, he was getting on the coaches on the defensive side of the ball. He would be tearing them and ripping them. We had a guy by the name of Bobby Pruitt that was second year at the University of Florida. And Coach Pruitt was so scared of Coach Spurrier. Oh man, like he would literally be like, all right, y'all come in here and take a look at the meat. You see what old Bobby got going on. So Coach Pruitt, hey, listen, when he walked in the room, Coach Pruitt had the pointer, laid it out for him, set it on the desk, and he said, "No, no, Bobby, I want you to sit right next to me. I need to know what they got going on right here." So all the all the players are in the background, and all you hear is, and he's like, Bobby, what call is this, Bobby? And he would sit there. He knew what it was. He knew it wasn't the player's fault. And then, he would ask us, "What play is this?" Coach Brewer told us to change in the middle of the play. Bobby, why would you do that? That's pretty stupid, ain't it? And then, dude, we would be losing it in the back. And then Coach Brewer would turn around. Why'd you say that they do that? But I tell you, it was hilarious. It was like complete comedy with dealing with Spurrier, man.
Man, that is
We loved every part, but we knew we were gonna back it up. We already knew
it. By you saying that, it says that you said you were recruited by 167 colleges before choosing Florida. What made the University of Florida feel like the right fit?
That's 75-degree weather in January. Getting off the plane. Hey,
that's the first honest answer that somebody said, man. When I asked that question.
Pure honesty right there, buddy.
I literally I had on a triple fat goose with a hoodie leaving Cincinnati. By the time I got to Florida, I was begging them to find me a shirt so that I could wear. And dude, when I tell you that weather, that was that was everything for me. I was like, this is in January. They're like, yes. They're like, it's pretty cool today. I said, cool in January? Oh man. I said, I gotta come here. And I said, and you know, the scenery probably helped a little bit because I've never seen girls with tans in January. I just didn't see it. That probably helped me
Right.
out. That probably helped solidify it a lot more. But I'm thankful
Didn't hurt,
to
right?
have been
Didn't
able to
hurt.
have seen that and had to make the right decision. You ladies helped with that. Thank you. But yeah, it was not.
That's
I'm being
funny, man.
honest though. Those things were like everything. Like you gotta talk about a guy that's coming from -40-degree weather, going to that. No, I didn't.
Oh
I
yeah,
really
that's
didn't.
the easiest. Oh
I
yeah.
didn't even
That's
want to
what
leave to go
Charlie said
back.
too. He's like, he's from Georgia. He was like, he went to Notre Dame, or he went up to, I think he said he went up to Boston College, and then he was supposed to go to Notre Dame, and he was like, I ain't going. I don't even want
Yeah.
to. He's like, I just don't want nothing to do with it. It's too cold, and he was good. He was gonna stay home. Either that, or he
Yeah.
was gonna go to Miami or something.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's crazy.
That's good
Um,
stuff. I love it.
uh,
Great question, Coach.
one another one and everything, man. I'm just trying to ramble. I got so many, man, but I don't want to. It's just some of them. Like if you could talk to 18-year-old Tony, what would you tell him?
Oh, whew, thought about this one. I would. I I literally would tell him to stay close to family because friends will die out quick when money isn't there.
Yeah, yeah. I
And
was.
I lost a boatload of friendships. I call them situationships along the way, and the one consistency that has stayed has always been family. You know, um, but man, we if I could speak to that 18-year-old Tony, I would tell him to hold strong with family. And stay close with family no matter what. They'll be the ones that'll back you because they know you.
I was. I was talking to Kevin Hardy. That's my second
Uh,
cousin. Played for the Jacksonville Jaguars,
yeah.
and he was saying something similar to what you said. He said that he found out who his true inner circle was
Hmm.
once he started saying no. Once he started saying,
That part.
"I'm not gonna do that," or "That don't make no sense."
Hmm.
And my stepdad, who passed away, would always tell Kevin and everything is that you're gonna find out who your true family is when you tell them no.
Yes.
And Kevin, man, it breaks his heart, man, because Kevin, man, being the first round draft pick, man, out of Illinois, man, he had
Hmm.
a lot of money, but he couldn't say no. And we would always
Yep.
tell him, man, you can't always say yeah. You can't. I
Yeah.
mean, and sometimes, and I'm gonna speak on it because it's me. Sometimes the the inner culture, us,
Yes.
we feel like we have to take care of everybody. We feel like we got to take care of the whole village, the whole town, and everybody. My
Yes.
grandfather always told me everybody can't go with you,
Yep.
and I think Kevin finally learned that, man. But he learned it at a cost of losing
Hmm.
so much and everything, man. So I agree with you on that, man, because I've seen him. I've seen Priest, Priest Holmes. He said the same thing right now, man. Is he could go back and say no to a bunch of business deals, some
Yes.
investments,
Hmm.
brain schemes that people had that he felt like he said if I could just invest my money a little bit more back then,
Hmm.
I wouldn't have to work so hard right now.
Yeah.
Yes. Amen.
So,
They're
no,
they're
man.
they're 100% correct. That is, we don't realize it, man. I think so many people live vicariously through us,
Yeah.
and they don't we don't realize it until it's too late. We're always to the point where, man, we appreciate the support and you giving us a push, but on the backside of that support and that push, hey man, hey, appreciate you doing that. Hey man, I got your back. Yeah man, but I got the rent, my rent due, and I want to make sure I
Yeah.
got things, man. I just wanted to see if you had a little something. Oh yeah, 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 I got you. And
Yeah.
then once it starts there, it just becomes a habit.
Yep.
Hmm.
All of a sudden, then it becomes from that,
Predatory,
making it
man.
that
It is.
habit. Then now it's gonna be, this is a monthly thing. Hey man, won't you just put me on your payroll and you can just da, 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 da. Okay, cool. Well, let me be your financial advisor, and all of a sudden, I got this deal that's gonna, you put this in, then I can get you this. Like, it's hard for us to say no because we think that we're Superman
Yeah.
and we're going to always have
That
this
money
check and
coming
this
in.
money coming in. And then you don't realize that next week could be your last week, but you don't
Yeah.
realize that while you're in the
NFL's not
middle
for
of it.
long, right? Not for
Oh
long
yeah,
in the NFL.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
something
Scary.
something you wanted me to ask you about. I wanna make sure we ask this to get this done, man, because this is what's very important to me. You hold patents to all of your technologies. You hold patents to all your technology. What was that journey like, and why
Hmm.
was it important to secure those patents?
Oh man, Whew. That was quite a significant journey. Getting the patents of something that has never been created before. Um, I want to
Are you still doing the shoes?
first.
By me asking.
Oh, uh huh.
hey,
Yep.
hey,
Uh huh.
Jackson, hold on. I got to tell this story. He would disrupt practice every single day. Tony had on a different pair of shoes, a different pair of sweats. I mean, he'd come out there and look like $1 million, and all the kids are like, "Man, where you get those shoes from? Man, I want to be like." And I'm like, "Damn, Tony, you missing practice up." Every day, a different pair of shoes.
Uh huh.
Red. If he had red shorts, he had red shoes. If he had green shorts, he had green shoes. If he had orange pants, he had orange shoes. And I'm like, damn, a big bag of Skittles. so
Yes.
I
Oh
always thought
man.
that was funny, man. That was funny, man. All right, I'm sorry. I just had to tell that
No,
story, man.
no. To this day, man, I'm still that way, man. And
I
I'm
thought so.
What do you
shoot.
have patents on though? What are your patents on, like performance stuff, or what are we talking about?
So I have safety devices.
Okay.
One of the guys that I had the pleasure of meeting, a gentleman by the name of Chip Wilt. Chip is the owner of C&M Machines, and he also has a rebar company. But we partnered together to help create a kind of a sports machine that has never been created before, where we have helped kids that were sitting third and fourth on the depth chart become starters and now are all conference players, both women and men, off of using this equipment. So we've had years of research of them working and doing this thing with us, and we got something called the Rhino, and that technology with the Rhino is basically, it's a continuous movement machine that is safe and effective, that you can raise up and down from 0 degrees or straight up and down all the way down to about 35-degree angle, to help you understand what resistive training is all about. A lot of times you get pauses when you lift weights,
Yep,
right?
yep, yep.
You deal with pauses. This machine doesn't allow your weight to pause, and it gives you resistance both with and against your body.
Oh wow.
So that's one of the things that we've created, that we've unleashed out to the world. The other thing we created was with my primary company right now. It's called Innovative Technology.
Hmm.
With Innovative Technology, we've done that same thing, but we provided safety that will help people in the sports entertainment world, our military, and the common everyday person. So what we've done to be able to do that is, I kind of put it out in the world a little bit, but what we've done is we've created something that will secure safety later in life.
Yeah.
So things, let's say we were talking about the concussions and things like that earlier. Let's just say we got a device that would help with that.
Monitor.
You're talking about
Bro,
people that are at home by themselves, like a grandmother, and that's home, and she's getting out of the shower. We got a suit that she can put on that helps her break her fall. She would break her fall, and we would have that as a safety mechanism device, where she won't have to worry about that. We got things that from your knees to your feet that will help you to secure stability from that standpoint. I'm
mhm.
obviously not giving y'all the direct
Oh no! Oh
idea
no!
of
No!
what
No!
it
We don't.
is,
Yeah. Yeah. We don't want you to do that.
but
Keep that
but
secret.
I can assure you the things that we have the patents on, the galaxy has never seen before.
That's awesome.
And by 2035, let me just tell you how good it is. By 2035, we are scheduled to make anywhere between 2 to 500 billion dollars. We may be the first $1 trillion safety company by
There you go.
2035. So I tell you, that's how
Dang, I
big it
need a
is.
job. I need a job.
And and on top of that, we are scheduled within the first 6 to 8 months of us getting the product created and finished. We are scheduled to create anywhere between 5,000 and 15,000 jobs, just depending on where we decide to open up at.
That's amazing.
So,
I
so
told you,
yeah,
man.
so we got some big things that are happening, and it takes a lot of paperwork. It takes a lot of brilliance, but um, Chip Wilt, he has his patent with CNM machines with this machine called the Rhino, and he has about 4 or 5 other machines that he has patents for. Me, I have 2 patents that I'm working on that are solid, that has the military interested to the point where our current military is ready to hop on board with us yesterday.
That's great.
But what I'm doing right now is I'm waiting for an opportunity to present this to the ones that need it a little bit more closer to home,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that would be the sports world. We're talking about the NBA, NFL, things of that nature. So we're scheduled to within the first within the first 6 months of doing this with the professional sports leagues. That looks anywhere between about 750 million to about 1.6 billion scheduled for us to
Wow.
make within that short time frame. So we're just trying to line some things up. But
Yeah.
people have been, we got interesting contacts and people that are interested in trying to get on board
Yeah.
with us, and people that are trying to see where they can get on. Can you get on the board with us and things of that nature? We if you fit the right dynamic, we'll make it happen. But
I
right
love
now
it. It's awesome stuff.
we're just trying to make sure everybody's matching and not trying to come in for a money grab. We just
Yeah.
want you to match what our energy is as well.
Sure.
So man,
I guess kind of getting back to football for now, for me, how are you feeling about where Florida is heading forward with John Summerall and the staff that they brought in? It seems like he kind of fits the mold to me of
Yes.
a little bit
he's
better than Napier.
his high energy, a lot of his
Yeah.
intensity is kind of there, but when he don't mind kind of yucking it up a little bit too. So it seems like he's
Yeah.
kind of a good fit in my mind for Florida. How do you feel about that?
Without hesitation, he's probably the best hire since Urban Meyer. Um,
Okay.
I I love everything about John Summerall. Here's why. And it goes back to when you were part of those championship caliber teams. Yes, I won the national championship in '96, but previously I had won 3 SEC championships: '94, '95, and '96. So
Mhm.
you know, understanding what championship pedigree is, that's not an easy thing to do when you're in the SEC to go 3 times in a row and win SECs back to back to back to back to back. It's just
No.
not a thing that happens.
It wasn't
Um,
happening at Florida before
all of
that,
that,
right? It just wasn't really happening very often.
yeah. It wasn't a thing. So inside of us, we understood what the championship DNA was all about. John Summerall was at Kentucky playing against us during those times, so he kind of really is like, "Hey, I remembered this, but I don't
Mhm.
see this out of you guys. So
Yeah.
we're going to reestablish this culture a little bit." And man, when I tell you he's come in there, and the one thing that I truly love about it is that he's kept guys around that 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 mimic this
Yes.
ideal that we came up with. He got, guys like a Bam Harden and then a Mike Peterson. Mike Peterson was my roommate in college, but he was
Right.
also a second round draft pick and also one hell of a linebacker for us down in the SEC. So he's got that championship DNA sitting around. So
Mm.
he's reestablishing it the right way by not just doing a complete flush of the guys that were there before. He's kept people that were there that needed to be that these kids are responding to, and he's making sure that he's moving forward with the right type of deal. And that's what we need. That's everything we need.
Hey,
Right.
before we get back on these questions for you, I got a question from a person in the comments, and it's a football question, but we're going to ask you anyway. Who is the best quarterback he's seen, and why does he feel Arch is the greatest?
Oh, good grief, Benji.
I know Benji. I know he's a
Damn Texas fans, man.
So
Just throw
yeah.
the
Well,
phones down real quick for everybody.
yeah.
he said, "Who is the best quarterback he's seen, and why does he feel Arch is the greatest?" All right, thanks, Benji. um,
So
who do you feel?
I best quarterback I've seen.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm gonna have to go with the uncle Peyton Manning.
Okay.
That that guy was,
You pick
un-
Peyton over Tom.
yeah,
Okay.
by far
Okay.
for me because I saw his caliber of work from college to the pros, and there was really kind of no drop off. It
Gotcha.
was just
Gotcha.
it was we were talented to beat Peyton Manning in those years when down in Florida.
More
By the
pros
time
say
he,
that. More pros say that than they say Tom Brady, man.
Yeah.
And I've always
yeah,
said that him being that Tom being the GOAT. I mean, not taking anything away from him, he was really good, but it's a
yeah,
team game. You don't give him
hmm
all them Super Bowls because of it, just because of Tom
Hey,
Brady. It's a
Branch
team
right.
saved
game.
his butt so many times. That defense law
Branch,
saved him one time.
Amendola, like it's
Yes.
Troy
Yeah,
Brown, like it's
yeah.
it's it's he has a
Troy
whole
Brown won
host
the
of guys
MVP,
that you
didn't
can
he?
think. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Dude,
like
Troy
it's
Brown, he play anywhere.
he had
Play anywhere.
now,
Yeah.
now don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Tom Brady, he that dude though.
He
He's
was
that
that
Yeah.
guy.
guy. He was
He
that
go
guy,
he go he,
yeah.
he first one. He gonna be the first one there and the last one out. You gonna have to beat him to beat him. So that's the way he was. But he had to work at it extra hard. I'll never forget this. We're walking out of the daggone training room, and I'm like, we see Tom Brady. He just got drafted. Tom Brady's walking past Mr. Kraft. Everybody, hey, Mr. Kraft. And then he yells and goes, hey, runs out of the weight room, Mr. Kraft. And he comes up and he said, I just want to tell you, I'm the best decision that you ever made. We all like, he about to get cut. He about to get cut. Man,
Oh Lord.
every day from that moment on, he was after practice. He was before practice. He was doing everything that he needed to do in the weight room.
Yeah.
That he could do in the weight room, and he made sure that he left no stone unturned. Tom Brady
I'm
was
getting
that guy.
better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like, hey, listen, I ain't got nothing to do. I'm just gonna get ready to go home or go sit at the hotel. I'm not. Let me get better. I stay here longer. I'll watch more film. That was Tom Brady,
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's
It's
and he
pretty
he
wild.
deserved he deserved everything he got.
No doubt.
But
I'm not saying he didn't
for
work hard,
me,
but I've heard a lot of people say that, that the best quarterback of that, especially that era, was Peyton. And
yeah, Peyton
they
was
just
he
weren't
was
they
just a
just weren't
different
as
beast.
loaded. They just weren't as good on both sides of the ball. You know.
Correct, correct. Yeah,
well.
yeah,
I
that's
got a few more
truth to
questions,
this.
man, before we get you up out of here, man. Because I know you got a lot of things on your mind at night. You got a lot of things to do. But let me
It's,
ask you this question: When people look back on Tony George's legacy years from now, what do you hope they'll remember the most? Not just as a football player, but as a man.
uh, just remember the light that I bring when I walk into the room. That's it. Like I want people to be inspired by everything that I say, think, or do. And if I'm not doing that, then I feel like I've kind of messed or missed a step. But I want that when I walk in a room, people feel a sense of joy, or they feel a sense of accomplishment. They feel a sense of, I can do this. They feel a sense of, I can complete this. I want them to look at me and say, he did it. He went through all of that
Yeah.
and
Yep.
still didn't stop. I gotta pull something from him. Come on. I tell everybody from me all the time. I say, hey, come on, grab my energy. I tell all my kids that I still
You used
train
to
and work
always
with,
say that.
I say,
Used to
grab my
always say
energy.
that. Used to
And I
always
and
say
I
that.
and I'm gonna tell them to grab my energy, because I'm not gonna let you outwork me just because you pushing yourself. I'm gonna make sure that you understand that if you want this, you're gonna have to beat me for it. You're gonna have to outwork me for it. You're gonna have to out tough me. You're gonna have to go through some things that you may not want to go through. But the bottom line is, you have to give yourself a chance to say, I want better.
Jason's on
So I
here
want to
now,
leave that
so
legacy.
he used to
Jay,
always make fun of me. So I'm gonna bring it up now. He's always make fun of me. I told Jason that I had my girls do yoga, and he used to always laugh at me. And
I
I was
didn't make
like,
oh man, not me. Not me. What you mean?
hey, Tony, enlighten him on what yoga does for for athletes.
man, I just wish I had done it more.
Yes.
Uh, it is the absolute continuance and the enhancement of life itself. Um, we used to make all the boys do it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All of our
Yeah.
boys.
Hey,
Y'all gotta come to class Saturday morning. I'm
it's
paying for it. Y'all just show up. I don't, parents, no, no, no. Y'all drop them off. And parents, if y'all want to join, y'all join too. But
stop, 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 stop,
there's,
stop, 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 stop. That's what you're gonna say right now is the honest to God reason why you're so beloved by those boys. Those boys, and also to go back on that, a lot of those boys really didn't have fathers. Let's put that out
yes,
there. A lot of those boys that we
yeah,
taught didn't have fathers. I
mm-hmm,
think me and Tony became dads to, I say probably about 30 or 40 boys on
yeah,
that team.
easily,
And
mm-hmm,
I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I'm just not cause he's on here, but he knows this. Those boys lit up when they saw him. Not
yeah,
because Tony George, in the field, because they didn't know that at first. They didn't know it at first.
yeah. I'm gonna go
They
tell
just, yeah, they just saw a guy come out there with energy and this and this. But when you start doing and calling these defenses and it works, and these boys are getting it, and these were, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. These guys were what the community and everybody called misfits.
yeah,
They call them that. They the laughing stock, blah yada yada. Tony came in there, man, and gave these boys purpose. And that defense, Tony, I don't know if you know, if you look, that defense was the number one defense in the conference.
uh,
I didn't know if you
man.
knew that or not.
No, I didn't know that.
Nobody
I,
scored more than 14 points on that whole season except one team.
yeah,
And that was the last game.
last game. Yeah,
Nobody scored more than 14 points that whole season except one team.
Wow.
uh,
Well,
man.
And this,
and that'll bring me to my last question. I'll ask you this last one. And as an Oklahoma, we're Oklahoma guys and Oklahoma creator here. Bob Stoops obviously brought up Brent Venables into his after being at K State and everything. Had him as defensive coordinator for a long time. What have you seen out of Oklahoma in this defense that do you feel like this is a team that can go ahead and get it done with this defense? And what do you see out of this defense that you like a lot?
Dude, it's a master class of who Bob Stoops used to be. It is
Yeah.
like it is a spitting image of exactly the way that that success that Coach Stoops brought to
Mhm.
to Oklahoma. That is what most teams that have fallen off. That's what they normally have to get back to, but they don't have the capability to do it. Brent Venables does.
Mhm.
He has the talent. He has the understanding of getting to learn this, and he has the ability to be able to make that happen. All it's going to take is a few times of them getting together to make that happen. But hey, that's why we play the game. You know,
Sure.
you're gonna spend the first 3 weeks and get some hard knocks out the first 3 weeks. By that fourth week, you know exactly what time it is and what you got. You know,
Mhm.
I just see them getting back to where they used to be. But again, you gotta remember now they're in that SEC again. you
Sure.
know,
Everybody's there. Yeah.
Yeah.
everybody's joining here now, and it's like, hey, you're gonna have to not do this every other week. It's a every week thing now. So your conditioning is gonna be everything. And I know that Stoops was big on that, especially with Jerry Schmidt. I know he was
Depth
big
and
on that.
depth. Oh yeah. Was Smitty was with you guys too?
Smitty was our
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Okay. I
Yeah.
yeah,
didn't
Smitty
even
was
know
down
that.
there.
yeah,
Yeah. Hey,
Woo, Smitty was crazy when he.
yeah. He was, still is. That's my guy, though. I love him.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, man, and this is just one of those questions, man, that I just want to know for some of the listeners that's on here and everything. What is it about football? No, I don't want to ask that. I asked that last. Has NIL ruined football a little bit, or is it just mismanaged?
It's mismanaged, very, very much so. Um, it's not ruined because I think name, image, and likeness should have a price tag attached to it. But I think what it needs to do is it needs to have a limit of what that is. Otherwise, you're going to become a minor league of the major league of the NFL.
Yeah.
Um, you're
You feel like
we
they
are.
ought to have collective bargaining, Tony?
I think they should. There should be some sort of CBA involved because you're sitting here talking about the quarterback of this team is getting 10 million, the quarterback of this team is getting 10,000. I mean,
Yeah.
if there's not some sort of line that
Structure.
needs to be drawn, yeah, you got to put it to some sort of equality and say, hey, if these kids are getting $10 million in college, what is going to inspire them to want to go to the NFL?
Mhm.
You
The
know,
NFL is supposed to be the big prize, correct?
that's you're the big prize. Yeah, you're the big
Sure.
prize, and there is a cap on money when you come in, and no matter in every round that you go in, even the first rounders. So if you make it 10 million your first year, but then you're gonna take a pay cut coming to the NFL, like what's the value of what it is that you're trying to do versus you know dealing with putting a cap on something and say, hey, here's what it is. You want to go to the big league? You want to make the big draw? All right, you're gonna have to work to get there, but here's our cap. You know, I 100% believe that guys in college should be paid,
Oh yeah.
but then there also needs to be a cap involved so that there can be some sort of thing that they're aspiring to get to if the NFL is their top choice.
I
You
kind of
know?
feel like, correct me what you think about this might be wrong. Is that it feels like to me is the teams and the programs that understand that it's not just how much money you throw at it, but how much you put into building relationships
Yes.
and and your culture in your locker room. Because I feel like what Jim Nagy's done, coming from the Senior Bowl and that NFL, uh, the NFL
Yes.
background that he has
Back.
as a GM, they're doing things. I heard him talking about it at SC Media Days about that they don't really talk to the coaches about what the pay stuff is, and that that
Right.
one of the things that's important to them is that they're not going to pay a freshman that had never played the same amount of money that they're going to pay a junior that's in his second year as a starter and that kind of stuff, and that's what helps keep that culture together. It feels like
Yeah.
it's to me, it feels like it's one of those things that this should be common sense among college football programs, but there's always going to be the shortcut takers and stuff like that. And I think that it works itself out.
Of course. I mean, I think if you look at the way that we talked about this earlier, social media will sell you better than anything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
All you got to do is create a following, and you'll get whatever amount of money you need to get if you create the right following,
that's true.
be it positive or negative. So we it's two monsters that you're up against. You're up here against a lot of these coaches saying, "Hey, put a cap on this thing. We need to try to get these kids and do it the right way." And then on the back end of that, kids are losing out in high school because they don't have to give out scholarships anymore. They could just pop a guy from this college or that college that ain't got no repercussion. They could just go and play the very next year and get experience, but it's gonna cost you.
Sure.
you know, or you can go out here and create this social media following and not be as good of a kid or not be as talented as you are, but you can go out there and create a good enough following where people saying, "Hey man, you need to give this kid a Gatorade deal because he's, every time we see him, he's got Gatorade, he's drinking Gatorade, he's got Gatorade shirts, he got a Gatorade tattoo. Okay, get this kid $5 million, and he
Yeah.
goes out there and he's a scrub because he spent too much time on social media."
Right.
You know,
Right.
so it's a catch, but there needs to be a limit, and until they put a cap on each team and say, hey,
Excuse me.
I know you're Power 5 teams and you guys have this amount of money, but what about the other 100 schools over here that don't have that?
Right.
Yeah.
We gotta find a way to make this parity work. So it's gonna be a bumpy fix, but they
Yeah.
still have to fix it.
Right. That's where I feel like I just saw that where Stanford is putting together some kind of a early CBA for they're trying to put
Yeah.
it together for collective bargaining, a union of some
Yeah.
sort, use as
Mm-hmm.
framework for a national
Yeah.
union. Um,
Yeah.
I think that until they do that, because I think people forget that none of the rules have been made by any of the players.
Correct.
You know what I mean? I think
That's the
that's
other
the
part of
biggest
it.
thing is they're taking advantage of it
Hmm.
and should be taking advantage of it. But until you give them the ability to at least have a say on the rules that they play by,
Yeah.
Yes. You
I
got to
think
do
it's
that.
tough.
Yeah, that's got to be a mandatory as well. But it has to come. It has to come. Like, yeah, we'll give you this. It got to be a lot of give and take.
Sure,
We got to.
sure.
We got to. We'll give you that, but you got to do this. So it's gonna be a lot of back and forth until they get it figured out, and having enough the right amount of representatives. I mean, I know it's 85. I think it's 85 scholarship kids. I don't know if they chopped it down or not yet,
No,
but
they're
No.
letting them have
The
105
hundred.
now.
Yeah.
yeah, I
105.
know that. I was gonna include the walk-ons. Yeah, there's usually 105 with the walk-ons.
Now you
Um,
pretty much have to. I don't think that walk-ons are really going to be a thing anymore. That's
that's what
part
I'm
of
about
one
to
of the
say.
things
Like,
that it's going to come with.
you're gonna be full scholarship type guys now. Like everything is that, especially with NIL involved. But that being said, you got 105 guys on the team. You're gonna have at least you know 10 representatives from each team coming
Sure.
up with, here's what our team wants, here's what I need team. You're gonna see what the common deal is and everything else. But you're gonna have to do that. It's gonna get ugly before it gets smooth and better. But it has to be done,
Yeah.
I agree.
in my
But Tony,
opinion.
but Tony, Tony, man, I got one more question for you, man, before we get you up out of here. Um, as a professional speaker, what's the core message you hope every audience member tonight took away from hearing you speak?
Understand that you know you're I say it this way: uh, pressure makes diamonds, but pain makes bosses. You
Yeah.
gotta you gotta allow yourself to experience pain in
Pain.
life
Yes.
before you can understand your worth to this world. I am a firm believer that a lot of us go through things and we automatically hit the quit button. And you're going through stuff. Oh, woe is me, my life is horrible, and I got this and that, and then you don't realize you walk right out there on the street, and you'll find somebody that got it twice as worse as you have. Some people ain't got, they don't have a house to leave, they
Yeah.
don't have a car to get in. So you have to remember that, yes, that's some pressure. And the diamonds that you see that I'm dripped, I tell people, I say, yeah, I'm dripped in diamonds now, but my pain is what made me the boss.
Yeah.
So I'm able to understand that, and I think the world needs to understand that. Hey, go through a few things, allow a few things to happen, and don't feel like you're the one that's getting things done to you in the worst way, because there's always somebody that's going through it a whole lot worse than you are.
Yeah. Well, man, in closing, I have a special request sent in. You're going to love this one. This one comes from Ellie and Tatum.
Okay.
two all-star girls on my basketball team, man, that loved you more than anything, man. Those girls, they sent an email in, and it says right here, Coach George, thank you for everything that you've given us. Thank you for allowing our mothers to join us as we did yoga in our eighth and ninth grade year. We just want to say we appreciate everything that you've done for us. You've shown us structure, you've shown us peace, and you've shown us grace. I hope tonight's podcast shows you that your flowers are way overdue. Tell Coach Ricks to tell you that we love you and we hope that everything works out for you in the end.
Oh, that just warms my heart right there.
Man,
Oh my goodness.
those two girls, man, that
Oh,
those girls, I'm gonna tell
those are
you.
my those two girls are my babies
Look,
right there.
look.
I just love them little ones.
Tatum right now is at South Carolina.
Oh,
Ellie right now is at Kentucky.
really?
Yes,
Oh
yes,
wow.
yes. All like I said, all because of you, man. So
Oh
uh,
man, it warms my
but
heart.
man, look, I just want to say this has been one of the most important interviews, man, or should I say podcast, man, I've had in a long time. Yes, we speak about sports, we speak about Oklahoma, but we also love giving flowers. We love giving people their due.
It's
So
been
man,
great
make
meeting
sure
you, Tony. Really awesome.
make sure. Oh yeah, I'm gonna put this up here, man. Make sure you guys, man, go back and watch this video, man, because it's a great teaching lesson, man. It's a great interview, man, with a person and everything, man, that has overcome so much. I've known Tony, man, for so many years, man. We haven't spoken like we speaking tonight, but it's one of those kind of guys, man, that you can pick up the phone and you just pick up right where you left
Right where you
off.
left off.
And
Yep.
and, and I was telling him in the green room, man, it's just like I saw him yesterday and everything,
Yes.
man. So, man, but like and subscribe to the channel, man. This is what we always do, man. Jason, is there anything, man, in closing, man, you want to say, man, before we get up out of here? But
I just wanted to say again, it was great meeting you and great meeting your family and stuff. And it's an awesome conversation to have with you, Tony. And just good luck on your future endeavors, man. It's we awesome to get to talk ball and about life too with somebody like you. So thanks a lot.
Oh, guys,
Good
thank
thing
y'all
for
so
having me
much.
on. Man.
Thank
yeah,
you guys so much. And real quick, I gotta give a shout out to my oldest child, Soleil George, up in New York. My middle baby, Ayla Brielle, out there in Indian Land. And I gotta give a big shout out to my baby boy,
yeah,
Houston Bear
little man,
George.
where's he at, man?
Yeah. Bear, where you at, buddy?
I ain't seen him in so long, man. Hey, how's he doing?
He doing good. Come here.
How's he doing?
Hey, he ain't little no more, coach.
He ain't.
Nah.
Ooh, well, look at that.
And
Hey,
he got his brains in. He's
there you
excited
go.
about that.
Hey,
So
man,
yeah,
look,
it's my little man right there.
that's what it's all about, man. I try to tell people all the time, man. Somebody asks me what is my legacy, and I always tell them my girls. My
Yep.
girls are gonna always be my legacy. So, in closing, man, thank you guys, man, for joining the show tonight, man. Please like and subscribe to the channel, man, because it's only gonna grow going forward. Tony, man, anything in closing, man, that you like to add before we get off here, man?
Everybody be the light that you desire.
That's it. Hey
Absolutely.
guys,
Thanks,
thank you
Tony.
guys, man, for joining the show, man. Coaches Talk, man. Until we come back again, man, Sunday for Sunday's conversations. It's your boy Coach Ricks. It's Jason from Hall of Fame Sports and the one and only Tony George, man. You guys have a wonderful night and be blessed. Hey Tony, man, I'll catch you later, but man.
Tony down.
Godspeed, brothers.
All right,
Godspeed.
take care, take care, take care.
All right.
Take care, guys.